Welcome to Ken's Corner Podcast, Season 4.
Hey everyone, this is Ken from Ken's Corner, and we got a revisited fan panel because there is someone new on here. He is our guest for today from Tampa Bay, a Tampa Bay enthusiast, amongst other things, Mr. Frank Abbondandolo. Imagine that. I got your name right, Frank, after I don't know how many times you've been on with me. So anyway, I'm going to go around the room a little bit, Frank.
The more you do it, the better you're getting at it there, Ken.
That's right. You know what? I had a friend up here named Chris Mayberry, and he started breaking some names down on our local junior A team. So I've actually perfected or starting to perfect that thing now. Anyway, I'm going to introduce you to our fan panel. Up in Thunder Bay is my friend, Mr. JT. JT, say hi.
How are we all?
And from the heart of Leafland in downtown Toronto, we have Gordon today.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
All right, you know what? We're gonna, because we haven't been on in a little bit, Frank. We'll get to you if you could just be patient for 1 minute. We're gonna talk to these boys down here about what's been happening since we last been on, which has been like, I don't even know how long. Have we even been on this season? I don't think so. But that game one, were you guys upset that George calls Sam Montembeault to start on Team Canada and then he goes out and goalies us? JT.
Oh, geez. Well, yes, it happens, but not much has happened since that, Ken.
Yeah. Well, we got goalie of the game, right?
And then he fell flat on his face. So, yeah, George called it for the first part, but not much after that.
Yeah. And JT, what did you think? Did we get goalie of the game just last night against the New York Rangers? Should we be 5-0?
Yeah, you know what? Every once in a while that happens, and I think guys watch game tape, so we have a lot of guys that are fairly predictable in their shot ranges and whatnot. And goalies just know where to be and how to square up to them. Sometimes I think we make goalies look good. I don't know necessarily goalies have good games, and then in the same panel we make them look good. We just kind of they read us pretty well. So season's young. It's all good. I'm not too full.
Okay,
I can say, Ken, last night's goalie is one of the best so far in the New York Rangers, Shesterkin. So it is honestly, last night we got goaltendered. But Montembeault, nah, that one.
Yeah, you're right. He fell flat in his face after that game. It's so Montreal like lately, right? But yeah, it's just
I would agree with that. That Shesterkin is one of the better goalies in the league by far.
Yes, and that's why he's going to get paid like it real soon. He's going to be our first $11 million goalie, I guarantee that. All right, I'm going to give Gord and JT one more thing before we cover that Ottawa Senators win against Tampa Bay, the game before you face our Toronto Maple Leafs. JT and Gord, I'm going to start with you, Gord, and name your three most impressed players that, in your eyes, for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this short sample. Who's your three favorite players that you think are producing on our ice? And JT, I'll give you a couple of seconds to give your list and tell me why.
Well, I'm going to start with, first of all, Chris Tanev. I think he's making Morgan Rielly look like a superstar without even having to do anything. It's just the way that he is. He came in, he's teaching the kids how to play defense. Number two, I think Max Domi's playing some of the best hockey I've ever seen him play, whether it's NHL or even in the juniors. He's playing absolutely phenomenal. He's flying around. And of course, number three, I can't go with, the fact that they got the monkey off the back and the captain scored again. So honestly, I think it's those are the three so far that I've seen that I can go with so far. I mean, I could go with many of them, but
Yeah.
those are the three I'll go with.
Thank you. JT, your list?
Some are to be understood. They're going to be standout. They're going to be awesome. But I think the surprises to me, Bobby McMahon, his game, his physicality. I didn't realize how physical and how hard edged he actually played. Because we didn't get a big sample size, but so far this year he's been standout. Matthew Nye, same thing. He's got a level of confidence that's just wasn't there last year, but this year already he's just, I don't know, lights out. I can see those two guys doing big things. And then in net, Stolars. I'm sorry, but that guy's been impressive, like really impressive. And I think he's in a position that I like Wall. I'm a firm believer Wall is our number one, but he's now going to have to outwork Stolars to get that, in my opinion.
All right, we're going to move ahead, and I'm going to give you a chance before Frank talks about his Tampa Bay Lightning. Who's going to start in net for us against the Tampa Bay Lightning?
You know it's going to be Vasilevsky, man.
Well, I know that, but who's going to be the Leafs goalie?
Oh, I don't know who the Leafs goalie going to be. I think isn't Joseph Wall coming back?
He might be, but Frank, I want to point out Vasilevsky played against Ottawa. Do you think they're going to go back to back with their number one after getting 5 goals pumped past him?
Shelled.
He's capable. Hey, Ottawa's goalie didn't do much better. We put 4 on him, man. So I mean that was just a score fest for these guys.
Well, break down that game for us, Frank.
Well, I just think, to be honest, it was pretty evenly matched. I thought it was an excellent hockey game to watch. It was very competitive. Ottawa was a little quicker than we were. They were a little bit more physical than we were, which surprised me, especially since we got Ryan McDonough back with us. But I think that was the difference in the game. And I think we'll pick that up. Like you guys, I'm not worried about it. It's early in the season. It's the 4th or 5th game. Our offense is there. We put up 4 goals on a very good goalie. You guys know more about Ottawa than we do. So, I mean, it was a competitive game, and that's going to happen throughout the season.
Yeah. Let's talk about your superstar. Do you expect him to score at that rate that he's scoring at right now? Is that the next Rocket Richard trophy winner this year, Mr. Kucherov?
Yeah, he could be. He very well could be. I mean, Kucherov's got 7 goals in the first 4 games of the season. The guy is hot. I think he's maybe bucking for that C on his jersey, getting it off of Victor Hedman. But we took over, after Stamkos left us for Nashville. But, I think Kucherov, he's always been him and Braden Point. He hasn't caught fire yet. Braden Point's another guy who scores regularly for us. He's like our Austin Matthews, I guess you might say. So I expect big things from the Lightning this year. 1 loss doesn't concern me to Ottawa. Ottawa's always a tough team. And, I'm more worried about you guys.
I want to just ask you one more question because, you know what, he's from just like my next door neighbor, Mr. Steven Stamkos, who's moved on from Tampa Bay. And his replacement this year, I guess, essentially is Mr. Gensel. What's his first name? Jake Gensel, am I right?
Yeah, I believe it's Jacob. Yeah.
Exactly. How is that working out? Are you missing Steven Stamkos as a fan on the ice?
Yeah, as a fan, you always miss the face of the franchise when they depart, man. I think that's true in any sport. I mean, Steven Stamkos was Mr. Lightning. I mean, let's face it. He was the face of the franchise, and that smarts a little bit. I hated to lose him, but, like any sport, man, it's a business. And I think he just priced himself out for his age and what's happening now in the sport. And I was sorry to see him go, and we miss him. But, hey, man, we got to play next man up just like in any sport. You're getting paid to go out there and score goals and play center. Do it. That's what we expect.
Awesome. Okay, guys, we're going to play a little game. Of course, Frank, you're going to play the Tampa Bay analysts. JT and Gord, you're welcome to both be involved. Play the Toronto Maple Leaf analysts. let's set this game up for Monday night. Let's start with your analyst, JT, what you see. Frank, you can chime in on your side for Tampa Bay. And Gord, you finish it off with the Leaf side. All right, 2-on-1 here, guys. JT, there you go.
Well, I'm gonna say that Vasilevsky comes in. He will be the goalie for Tampa. I think if you look at his numbers, anytime he's ever given up goals on one game, he's come back the next game and just stood on his head. So same as Bobrovsky does the same thing out of Florida. He comes back. They would love playing them back to back because their second game is better than the first always. So we are going to be up against some really tough goaltending against Vasilevsky. But we have more to off. We're a physical team. We're actually the second biggest team in the NHL. If you look at stats wise, the Leafs are huge this year. They're big, they're strong, they're physical, they're mean, they're fast, and they can score goals. So I think Tampa's in for a bit of a reckoning. Ottawa was kind of a taster plate of what's the physical side of the game of what Florida or what Toronto can bring into Florida for them. And I think it's going to be a physical game, but low scoring. I see it being 2-1 at the end of it with an empty netter.
Great.
I'll tell you right about that.
3-1 final.
I did look over the Maple Leafs roster, and every guy on the ice you have is 6 foot or better, 6'2",
Yeah.
6'1". So yeah, they're very big and very physical. That does concern me a little bit. But our guys are fast. We got some shooters. We got some goal scorers. Probably not. We're more of a finesse than a physical team. I think that's always been the Tampa Bay Lightning deal. I agree, like you, when these two teams get together, generally you could throw records out. I think this is a rivalry that's brewing, not as strong as the original four, but I think this is a rivalry that's growing strength. I'll give you just a couple of stats. We've played each other 124 times. You have the edge 69-53. So Toronto holds the edge. And as far as scoring goals, you've outscored us 69 to 53 was what you outscored us at. So, I mean, it's the record is 69-53 rather. That's what it is. I'm sorry, guys. I scribbled some notes down before I came in. I'm having a hard time discerning them on the fly, but that's what it was. And you guys have outscored us by 16 goals in all time. So it's not very many goals over that many games, over 124. I think these teams are pretty tight. I think the last couple of seasons have shown that. I think this rivalry is growing, and it's a lot of fun to watch. I agree with you. It's a 2-1 game, and of course, I'm going with my guys.
And Gord, you can finish off for us and tell us who's starting in net for the Toronto Maple Leafs, please.
It'll be Stolarz in net. They'll be bringing him back. I don't think Joseph Wall's fully ready to come back yet. Yeah. Chris, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go with JT. I think it'll be 2-1 Leafs with the empty netter at the end, 3-1 final. And yeah, I will say, Chris, I think you're right. There's not much 16 goals. It's not a whole lot in the amount of games they've played. I think it'll be a bit of a quicker pace, but I think the Leafs are physical. Everybody on our team 6 feet and bigger. I think it'll be a very, very good game. I think it's going to be a quick pace game that they're going to want to move the puck very quickly. And the Leafs pull it out in the end, 3-1 final.
Like boxing, it's going to be a game of styles. You guys have, like you say, you have the physicality. You're big, you're strong. You guys play physical, and so that's like the puncher against the boxer, the guy who could throw jabs and dance around, and also it's going to be a contrast of styles. This game is going to be. That's the way I see it. Good luck to you, gentlemen. Ken, you and I have to work out a new deal for this year. I know I was up there in Oakville with you this past summer, and I paid off on the bet you got me last year. We'll have to dream something up for this season between our two teams' record. And I want you to know I do have a Toronto Maple Leafs beer mug, about 12 ounces. So maybe we'll do something with that, man.
Well, maybe the next time I'll actually be drinking. It'll be more in a burger and a drink that you're buying for me, because Austin Matthews is going to score to win that game if you happen to have the unfortunate mishap of meeting our Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs, Frank. I'm sorry to tell you, but we're going to. I'm sorry. But
hey, you know that game three from 2 seasons ago, it's still eating at me, man.
yeah, Don Tavares, he was our savior for that one round that we've won, that we've had a chance to celebrate in the last 8 years. We're hoping for some more. I'm going to let you guys do one more thing before we sign off today. Thanks a lot for playing along, all you guys. And it's Frank. I know it says Chris there, but his name is actually Frank. Unless he's
my name's Frank.
yeah, unless he's lying. He's been lying to me for a couple of years, maybe. I don't know. Hey, you guys know, here's a story. Down in Florida, these guys can walk around with a gun strapped to them. They're bad boys down there. That's a different world for me. But anyway, that's a different story. We're going to go to your bottom six on, Tampa Bay, and the bottom six in Toronto. And I'm going to let you pick anyone from your bottom six forwards and just highlight them. Just give me a synopsis on their play so far this year. JT, the bottom six player that you picked from the Toronto Maple Leafs is, please.
Is Max second line now, or is he down to 3?
I'll allow you to talk about Max Domi.
I'm going to go with Max Domi. I think he signed a very, very team-friendly deal. He is a potential number 1, 2 liner on any other team. On our team, he's a second to third liner just because we have that much depth. But as a guy who plays with the capacity of a 1 or 2 line guy, he is the deal breaker, I think, in a lot of games. And I think he is our TSN turning point, I think, with a lot of matches. I'll be honest.
Thank you. Frank, would you like to pick one of your bottom six players to highlight?
My bottom six players. Nick Paul, maybe.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Nick
Good
Paul.
choice.
Yeah, good choice. He's a physical guy. Plays. I like the way he plays in front of the net. He's a guy they rely on. They want out there on the ice. Aaron Forster. I'd say he's a guy I would pick.
Thank you. Gord.
I'm going to round this off with Steven Lorenz.
Mm-hmm.
They moved him up in the lineup against the Rangers to play with JT. And honestly, he's like a bowling ball out there. He can hit, he can shoot, and if he gets on a roll, I can see him putting a few to help the Maple Leafs here. That's who I'd go with.
Yeah, you know what? I was so hoping you were going to say Steve Lorenz, because if you weren't, I certainly was. And you know what? I'm going to play along here as well. And since you said my friend Steve Lorenz from Kitchener, Ontario, former Florida Panther, Frank must be happy he's not playing down in Florida anymore, hitting his Tampa Bay guys. But I'm going to go with his pal, his new friend, Mr. Ryan Reeves. And why I'm saying that is because they had something a little bit together there. You mentioned bowling ball. Well, that is the quote right from Ryan Reeves' mouth. They said he was asked, how do you like the play of Steve Lorenz? He said, he's like a bowling ball out there. He just doesn't have as good a tan. And Steve Lorenz said, Ryan Reeves, he's just a bowling ball out there, period. So yeah, it's great to talk to you guys. Thank you so much, guys. We found a lot to talk about, apparently. I'm going to ask you guys one more question, just because I'm curious. Max Paxaretti, JT, is he back in the lineup?
Yes. I think he's going to be filtering in and out on that fourth line, maybe third. Anytime that they need a little bit of grit and in front net presence, that guy's just got hands, and he's a veteran. He's logged hours, he's logged minutes on that ice, and he knows what's happening out there, and he's a calm, I like him. So yeah, I see him in there. For Tampa, I can see him against that game. Yep.
Gord?
Yeah, I think they need the experience, and again, like JT said, somebody to kind of calm down that third
Thank you.
And get them back to reality. I think, yeah, he will be in against Tampa Bay. He's going to bounce in and out.
I agree with you. I believe that's the way he came in, as how they signed him. So I expect about 60 games out of Mr. Paxaretti this year. So I agree with you. On the way out the door, Frank just loves to buy hamburgers up at Harvey's for everyone. Anyone want to get met with him?
I miss Harvey.
Yeah,
Met Harvey.
We'll put another lunch on the line. You know, I'm up there every year, so I'll definitely be seeing you around Labor Day week.
Yeah, he has family in St. Catharines, guys. So that's how we get together. Maybe next trip, now that you met Frank, you'll come out and meet me in Oakville with him.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
Grimsby
great.
is my stomping ground, right next door to St. Catharines. I'm actually from there, from Niagara.
Oh, wow.
Oh, are you? Nice. Well,
Yeah.
pleasure meeting you guys, man. It's great. We have a little friendly back and forth. I'm always up for that. Ken,
Yeah.
good to see you, my friend.
Go Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by the way. And
Thank you.
Argos,
Thank you.
Argos have found second place in the CFL in the East.
They did. Did you see the game yesterday, Ken?
I did. Adam Rita called it this year, and former coach and general manager, 6-time Grey Cup champion, by the way. He said the first 6 games, you want to be all right. Your next 6 games, you want to be revving up. But that last 6 games, you need to secure and head into the playoffs. It's an 18 league, and I'm looking forward to that Grey Cup, hopefully coming to Toronto this year. And good luck today, of course, again, to the Tampa Bay Bucks. I believe JT might be a fan backing you up on that play.
Yeah,
we have Baltimore tomorrow night. That's going to be a tough road to hoe for us, but I'm hopeful.
I will get it.
My name's Ken. We're here on Ken's Corner with our special guests, Frank Abbondandolo, JT from Thunder Bay, and Gord from Toronto, our Leafs fan panel. Guys, thank you so much for playing along today, and we'll see you all soon. Frank, please come back. It's been all our pleasure.
My pleasure. Anytime, Ken. Nice meeting you, John.
Meeting you, Frank.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Frank.
Yes, sir. Nice meeting you.